are aware as to how the GST works, and GST, of course, is relatively still a new law. It is expanding, evolving, and there have been a lot of challenges of all kinds, challenges from the perspective of technology, challenges from the perspective of new amendments, new changes, and things like that. And therefore, this is an ever growing, ever evolving an area. We of course will be focusing on some of the issues that have bothered us in our transactions. So the one issue which has been brought to my notice as regards the GST, and that is in many of the cases in the past. Now I understand things have improved. Initially, many of the suppliers they received payment from the company including of the GST amount, but either they did not deposit that GST with the government, or they did not file the relevant return with the government. As a result of that, credit ITC of those goods was not available to the company. As a result of that, at one point in time, about a crore or 100 crore or more amount of WC was locked up only on account of this. So, what are the conditions for availment of ITC for the GST paid to the supplier, and how to ensure that the suppliers do not make a default in complying with these conditions, so that only when they deposit the GST amount with the government and file the necessary return, then only we will get the credit, and that is what we need to ensure. So, conditions to be satisfied for taking credit of ITC for the GST paid. So, number one is there must be a valid tax invoice, debit note, or prescribed tax paying document, which of course is not an issue. So, we would always receive an invoice as far as the supplier is concerned. Goods should have been received. That is also not an issue, because only when the goods are received we would make the payment. Tax paid on such supply is actually paid to the government by the supplier. That is where was the problem. He should have furnished the return under section 39 of the GST Act. That is also a problem, and on account of these two reasons we were not getting the the credit of the ITC. If goods are received, of course this is theoretical, if goods are received in lots or installments, then ITC can be taken upon receipt of last lot or installment. And one more, ITC is not admissible if depreciation is claimed on tax component. So and that is with respect to the capex. So in case of an item of capex, obviously when you receive an item of capex, अगर वो जो GST का अमाउंट है जो आपने पे किया है to the supplier, if that GST amount you capitalize, if you add the GST amount to the cost of the plant and machinery, then you will not be eligible to get ITC credit of that amount. So for getting the ITC credit in case of a plant and machinery, what will need to be done, that the amount of GST will not to be capitalized. If it is capitalized, then we don't get the credit in GST. So what are the critical steps, friends, for availment of ITC? Number one, GSTR1 is the return that has to be furnished, and it has to be furnished by the supplier, where he is reporting details of all outward supplies, and it has to be submitted by him by 11th of the following month. So when he does this, so when he files this GSTR1, then whatever supplies that he has made to us, and those supplies would reflect in his GSTR1 and GST1, and those same information will reflect in GSTR2A at our end. And GSTR2A is a format, is a report that lets us know as to which all suppliers of ours who have supplied goods to us, they have reported those supplies in their GSTR1. So all these suppliers, when they report their supplies to us in their GSTR1, those supplies get reflected in our GSTR2A. So and this GSTR2A lets us know that so much of ITC credit is available for us. It means what? It means if there is a consignment which we have received, for which we have made payment already, and if that invoice is not reflecting in our GSTR 2A, now we need to do the follow-up with that supplier and ensure that that supplier submits the return and files it so that it reflects in our GSTR 2A. Because only when it reflects in our GSTR 2A, then only we would be able to get credit of that ITC and not otherwise. So inward supplies for which credits are not reflecting will require follow-up with the suppliers. Now, a worry that we can have is ITC can be okay in case if there have been delays by the supplier in either making the payment or in reporting or in doing the both, then we will not be able to get the credit of that ITC. So now the question is, what happens to it? So the answer is ITC can be availed up to filing of the annual return by the company. Last date for the same is 30th September. So 31st March तक के जो भी invoices हैं, अगर उनकी credit avail नहीं करी गई है, so that credit can still be availed up to 30th September. That is for in the first 6 months of the next financial year. 30th September is the date on which we are supposed to file the annual return. So once the annual return is filed, then this credit cannot be availed. Now the question that can come to your mind is, then what is the option that we have? If we have not availed the ITC credit, even in next 6 months of the next financial year, then what do we do? And we have filed the return. So now we cannot avail the credit of this GST, but we can certainly apply for refund of this GST. So now how do we take care of it? How do we ensure that we do not get into a situation where the supplier has either not deposited the amount or not filed the return? So what do we do? This is something that some of the companies have done. So in the PO issued to supplier, have a clause that for any non-availment of ITC by the company on account of fault on the part of the supplier will be recovered from him. So let there be a clause to this effect so that tomorrow when a need arises, you can of course apply it, exercise it. The second situation that is under the GST laws, how the tax credit is received on inputs having different tax slab and the outputs having different tax slab. So that is your inverted rate structure. So what is happening is the goods that we are importing, the goods that we are buying. So on the input, what we are paying, the rate is higher than the rate which is applicable on our output. So this results into a situation which is referred as inverted rate structure. So what is going to happen is we purchase and we pay GST at a higher rate, and let's say 18%, and the goods that we sell is the GST applicable, let's say is 5%. So our payment of GST is at the rate of 18%. Our collection of GST on the invoices of ours is at the rate of 5%, and therefore the GST that we have paid on our inputs is going to be so huge in size, and because of inverted rate structure, because of the low rate of 5%, we would never be able to get the set off or the credit of the GST that we have paid. So now what should be done in that case? So in that case, it's a temporary disadvantage to the company, because to the extent the GST that we have paid on the inputs, and to the extent we are not able to claim it on account of our purchases, our money is going to be locked up in the GST credit, and that is a temporary cash flow disadvantage. However, company can claim a refund of the unclaimed or unutilized amount of the ITC on monthly basis. So every month, whatever is the amount at the end of the month, whichever the amount which is not going to be claimed, the ITC for which is not going to be claimed, company can file application for refund of that amount, and this can be done every month. This can be also done for multiple months at a time. Advisable is to be done every month so that the refund comes regularly. If you do it for 3-4 months, then to that extent the amount is going to be locked up in the GST. Now the question is how to claim refund of ITC due to inverted rate structure. So number one, of course, is the taxpayer is eligible. So the company is eligible for the refund of ITC is in case of because of due to the inverted rate structure. For the refund of accumulated or unutilized ITC due to the inverted tax structure, Form RFD01 has to be filed within 2 years from the end of the financial year in which such claims or refund arises. So you still have a period of 2. So number one, whatever ITC has been accumulated and not utilized, you can file application within 2 years from the financial year. If the application is not filed within 2 years, then of course it is finished, it is gone. So this is how the situation of inverted rate structure, where we are paying more GST and collecting less GST, can be handled. So friends, with this I come to the close of this session, and as always I just would like to thank all of you profusely for this wonderful opportunity. I am really so happy to have interacted with every one of you. I hope I have been able to answer all your questions and all your doubts to your satisfaction. If at all you have any question or any query, you can of course note down my number. I will share my number with all of you, and you can always send me a mail, send me a WhatsApp message, and I would try to respond to your questions and your queries as quickly as possible. एक छोटी सी परसों जब गजानन जी ने मेरे बारे में आपको बताया, तो उन्होंने जिक्र किया था कि मैंने 2 बुक्स ऑथर की हैं. तो मैं आपको खाली ये बताना चाहूँगा कि देयर आर 2 बुक्स दैट आई हैव ऑथर्ड. वन इज यू आर अ बॉर्न विनर, एंड सेकंड इज वैल्यू फाइनेंस फॉर वैल्यू क्रिएशन. And both these books are available on. I'm not trying to do marketing, but I'm just trying to let you know that you have these books available, and these books are truly wonderful. Not because I have authored them, because the people who have read these books, they have told me so. So both these books are available on Flipkart and also on Amazon. These books are my objective in authoring these books, of course, is not to make money. My objective is to share this knowledge of how to live a balanced life, to share this knowledge of finance with everyone. So these books are extremely reasonably priced, so I'm not making any money, but I would definitely be happy that you buy these books and read them and benefit from them. So this is all that I thought I would share with all of you. So with this, friends, a profuse thanks to all of you. A profuse thanks to Tata Motors. A profuse thanks to Neeraj, Gajanan, and Sneha for coordinating this wonderful session with every one of you. We have met virtually, but I'm sure sometimes we would definitely meet in person also. Till then, thank you so much, and wish you all the very best. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.